Francisco Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
It's Game 3 of the Bay Bridge Series, and two-time Cy Young winner Tim Lincecum is on the hill. Lincecum has dominated the A's over his career and looks to do it again today. The A's counter with another Cy Young winner, Bartolo Colon. Colon has struggled over his last few starts, but today he looks to rebound against the Giants. It's the green and gold taking on the orange and black, and it's coming up next. It's Hyundai Sunday on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. As Giants baseball is brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. From the corner of 3rd and King Streets in San Francisco, it's the Giants and the A's in the final game of this Bay Bridge Series from AT Park. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. You saw the long lines for the Wilson Gnome Day, so this day is going to be fun. Wilson, by the way, will join us in the 3rd inning. Mike, what does Lincecum have to do today to be Lincecum?
Well, I mean, he has to be more consistent with his mechanics. I mean, we've been saying this a long time. It's kind of hard to believe he's made 8 starts already, and the Giants have only won 2 of those starts. But if anything, I think a lot of times you get back into a good set of mechanics when you face a team you've had success with, and he certainly has done that against the A's. 5-2, he's thrown a couple of shutouts. So hopefully the familiarity of pitching against that uniform will give him consistency in his mechanics, and he can take off.
It should be a fun day here at the Yard as the Giants wrap up this homestand. All right, when we come back, we will have the lineups on the very first pitch right after these messages.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible, and by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
All right, back here at AT&T Park. Our game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk kicked off yesterday with a free concert starring James Durbin. 66 degrees, Light winds, humidity at 54%, and we got a clear day here at the yard. All right, take a deep breath as Jamal Week stands in, facing Tim Lincecum. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's a called strike.
90-mile-an-hour fastball, knee high. I mean, that's a great start for Lincecum. Always look at how early he can get down in the strike zone. And the first pitch, that's a great start.
The 91-mile-an-hour fastball is fouled back. Weeks hitting 200. He's got 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. He's 1 for 9 in the series. Giants won on Friday 8-6. And behind Ryan Vogelsong, they beat the A's yesterday 4-0. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Down low, 1-2. Pennington to follow, and then Josh Reddick. Already 9 starts for Lincecum. This is his 9th. Swing and a miss, and that's how this game gets started. Rest of the A's lineup, you just saw Weeks. Now it's Pennington. Follow Pennington is Reddick, and then Seth Smith. Josh Donaldson will get a start. Now go back to Smith. He's got good numbers lifetime against Lincecum. Donaldson, Barton, followed by Suzuki 7th, Cowgill 8th, and Cologne 9th.
See Lincecum set that split finger grip. He'll do that before every pitch. And there's a reason for that. You see a lot of guys do it. The reason is you don't want to tip a pitch when you're fixing a grip in your glove. And if you fix a split before you get it in your glove, then if you throw another pitch, you can just go to a fastball. It's a lot easier than trying to go to a split. Let's take a look at the numbers for Tim Lincecum through his first 8 starts. 2-3, 5.77 ERA, 48 strikeouts, and 43 2/3. The stuff is there. The command has not been. A good curveball there. And then we've seen him the last couple starts now start to be more and more consistent to the knees and the base of the strike zone with just about everything he throws. It's a little easier for him out of the windup now than the stretch, but still getting very close.
Swing and a miss. Pennington gone.
Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Lincecum. Starting in the outfield from left to right, Cabrera, Pagan, and Blanco, the best arm in left with Cabrera. Crawford and Arias will be on the left side of the infield. Burris and Bellet on the right side. And Buster Posey will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Here's Reddick hitting 270. And Reddick takes one wide. Reddick does not have a hit in the series. He's 0 for 7. He is the power guy in this lineup. He's got 10 home runs. He's got 22 RBIs. And he has never faced Lincecum before. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. And that's a strike at the knees.
.38 lifetime inning or lifetime ERA against these A's. 5-2 record. 2 of those victories are complete game shutouts. Bob Lee, Bob Walker. Look back into the 60s when those guys had the type of success that Lincecum's having against them.
And Reddick takes the walk.
Let's take a look at the pitch grips that Lincecum will use. There's the 4-seam fastball. He'll throw both fastballs. That's the 4-seam. You see the thumb under the middle finger, and here's the 2-seam fastball. This is his favorite one. He'll probably throw that 80% of the time. And then he throws the curveball, pressure point off the middle finger. And then there you see the cutter. Very similar to a slider grip, and there is the slider grip. He just rolls it back in his hand just a little bit. And then there's the split. You see the thumb on the side. And all of his pitches are strikeout pitches.
Here's Smith, and Smith takes low, a breaking ball.
Always important for Lincecum the first time he gets in that stretch to stay gathered before he starts home. A lot of times he'll just jump out and and he is not in position with his arm to be able to get up in a proper position when that front foot drops to control his stuff.
There's a strike. Exactly the fastball.
And I think it's wearing on him a little bit that his velocity's down. He says his arm feels great, his body feels great.
Reddick has 4 steals. He hasn't been caught. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
See the velocity as to how it has sort of gone down. He came in the average fastball in 2008, 94, and this year it's been 89. Now his fastballs last 3 starts have been better than they were the first 5. So I do believe he's coming out of it mechanical. That high fastball that Seth Smith just swung through, he'll do that again. You can climb the ladder on him. That's a tough pitch for him to lay off of, that high fastball across the letters.
Down low, 2-2. Giants are 2 games over 500. The A's are 1 game under. Giants at home are 12-9. They're 4-2 on this homestand. So Reddick extends his lead by about a half a step. He goes. A swing and a miss. And that'll end the inning, just like you said. Lincecum strikes out the side. Blanco to lead it off. In Northern California. Let's take a look at the Giants lineup. For Bruce Bochy, it'll go like this. It'll be Blanco, Crawford, and Cabrera. Buster Posey will be the cleanup hitter, and then Pagan. Angel Pagan with a 10-game hitting streak. Seems like he has hitting streaks all the time. Following Pagan, it'll be Belt, Arias, and Burris, and Tim Lincecum will hit ninth.
On the hill today for the Athletics will be Bartolo Colon, the 38-year-old right-hander in his 14th year at the big league level. 5'11", 270-pounder, and 9 starts, 3-4 with a 4.13 ERA. He's a strike thrower, 31 strikeouts against 8 walks in 56 2/3. And when he's right, he'll be able to pinpoint a fastball on both sides of the plate. It'll be low 90s with a hard slider and a split. But he can pitch. He's a good reader of swings. And he is stubborn to the strike zone. He will come at you.
So much for patience. The Giants going right at him.
Now, one thing about Colon is he's going to be around the strike zone, and I think that at times will make guys more aggressive early in the count.
Blanco with a big swing and a miss, hitting .282 with a home run, 8 driven in. He's never faced Colon before. Nor is Crawford, who's on deck. Got him.
The A's defensively today will set it up, starting with the outfield from left to right. Smith, Cowgill, and Reddick, with Reddick having the best arm in that outfield. Pennington and Donaldson on the left side of the infield. Weeks and Barton on the right side, and Suzuki will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Here's Crawford. Crawford batting .233 with a home run, 11 driven in. Crawford swinging a miss.
Let's take a look at our Exmo, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, and you can see the windup of Bartolo Colon. Very balanced, and watch him start to drop and drive and use the push off that back leg. You see how low to the ground that knee gets. It's a motion of power. It's a lot of his arm speed from hip speed. Well, everybody does. I mean, hip speed is arm speed, but he's always been a real strong lower base pitcher.
So Crawford, a quick 2 strikes, and he goes down. So everybody's striking out today.
Let's take a look at our AT U-verse replay. We take a look at Melky Cabrera. This is how the game started out yesterday. A Vogelsong on the hill, low sinking line drive off the bat of Jamal Weeks. And the Milkman comes up with a shoe top and backhander, and he finishes in the pike position. Yeah, about a 9.7.
Very good.
Excellent.
So here's Cabrera. The Milkman takes one way outside, 1 ball and no strikes. 337, 2 home runs, 17 driven in. 2-0 in the series. 2 for 4 on Friday, 2 for 3 yesterday.
It's almost like the guy gets 2 or more hits every night.
Every night. Shallow center field. This pop-up is going to fall. And Melky Cabrera is going to end up at second base. Probably should have been caught, but wasn't. And the Giants have a runner in scoring position.
Oh, that's the type of base hit that'll make you smile. Just throw it right out there in the Bermuda Triangle. Everybody converging on it. And really a ball that should have been caught by Smith. I'm not sure if he saw it.
I mean, it almost hit him.
Out of the corner of the eye, I saw Cowgill coming to his left side, and he backed off it. But that's a happy birthday base hit right there, and they do make you smile.
So here's Buster Posey. .302 for Posey, 4 home runs, 16 driven in. Outside, 1-0.
Bartolo Colon is one of the great getaway day pitchers in history. He does not Jimmy Jack around. He gets it and he goes.
1-0 to Posey. At the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Colon getting the sign from Suzuki. Swing and a miss right underneath the hands of Buster Posey.
The other thing too about the delivery of Colon, it's a short armor. And the arm action really makes a 90-mile-an-hour fastball look a lot quicker because of how quick his arm is. He's got short arms.
Posey on the ground is short. Pennington, side retired. Giants strand 1. After 1, 0-0.
on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Ford, with 3 models delivering 40 mpg or better.
No score as we head to inning number 2, as it'll be Donaldson, Barton, and Suzuki facing Lincecum. Lincecum with a walk and 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Donaldson takes a strike. He had a big night on Friday. One of the box scores that you keep. 3 for 4, 5 RBIs, a home run, and 2 doubles. Bounces this one to Crawford. Crawford gets a decent hop and throws him out.
Let's take a look at our Ford right choice. Well, Tim Lincecum provides it for us today. He struck out the side. Breaking ball to get Weeks. Fastball to get Pennington. And then a fastball. And it gets Smith. And it closes things out for the A's in the first. And that's our Ford right choice.
All right. Here's Barton. Barton hitting .211 with a home run, 4 RBIs. He fouls this one back. He's had 11 at-bats against Lincecum. He's 1 for 11.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen Barton swing at a first pitch. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, he's very notorious at going 0-2 to 3-2. High and wide from Lincecum.
Hey, Eckersley, huh?
Heck,
your old teammate. Is he one of your top 5 all-time favorites?
he got a haircut. Look at him, not a baby.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, he's top 5. 2-1 to Barton. Well, I'd have to kick somebody out to get him in, so I'll do that.
How about top 6?
Yeah, top 6. So I just kicked you out, and I put.
I knew where this was going.
You shouldn't have asked the question.
0-1 to a 3-1.
So Barton now has the luxury of sitting on a pitch that he likes, and it's 3-2, automatic 3-2.
You know, and Jim Joyce is you really can't call him a low ball guy or a high ball guy. He's kind of a rule book guy. He'll give both the high strike and the low strike. You don't get a lot of big corners. Occasionally you'll get one, but he's a consistent umpire and a very popular one.
Got him.
That was nasty. And that is the old Tim Lincecum.
All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
I've got a visitor with me, Dwayne. It is the Brian Wilson Gnome Giveaway Day. It's sponsored by our very own Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. People were waiting outside hours before the gate opened for this little guy, and if you want to see where he's been around AT&T Park, I've escorted him all over today. Follow me on Twitter at AmyGGiants. And Dwayne, just when you thought you knew all about social media, I used Tout, which is video Twitter. That's your next thing to do, guys.
Wow.
There's some gnomes out there in the bleachers.
Wow. Here's Suzuki, and Suzuki just gets out of the way.
There's the line that Amy was talking about. I went out and walked the dog this morning at 6:30, and they were already lining up. Happy and psyched. But the gnome is pretty cool. I have to admit, it's, as far as the bobblehead dolls are concerned, this isn't actually a bobblehead. It's pretty good. And those are gamer gnomes from Half Moon Bay. And he's not with him. Hard to believe, but true.
1-1 pitch in tight, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hit high to left field in the park to Cabrera. Side retired. It'll be Pagan to lead things off.
Baseball Hyundai Sunday on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers.
Here it's a 0-0 ball game, and these people heart Amy G.
Well, what's not to heart?
Yeah, so do we. Sometimes. All the time. Most of the time.
7 out of 10 days.
Here's Pagan, takes down low, strike. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Bell to follow. And then Arias. In the third is Donaldson.
That's good front door action on that fastball. And he will utilize that inside corner a lot to lefties. I mean, when he gets it going, I mean, he can corner pitch as good as anybody. Both sides of the plate, in and out, moves it around. Very compact throwing motion, as you can imagine.
There's a line drive into right center field, a base hit. Will Pagan stretch it out? He's going to go. Here's the throw to second, and he made it. Everything about that play was the big leagues.
Everything about it. Talked about Josh Reddick's got the best arm in the outfield for the A's. Off the crack of the bat, Pagan gets a gapper, and he's thinking too. And watch Reddick get to the backhand, or scoop it rather, and comes up gunning. If that ball is on the other side of the bag, he's out. But everything about it, the way that he busted out of the box, the way that he ran it, anticipated, and the way that Cliff Pennington took the throw and tried to apply the tag. I mean, this is bang, bang. It looked to me like he may have just swung his mitt over his arm.
Here's Belt. And Belt pops it out of play.
It's exciting baseball. How close was it? Close.
Yep.
Mike Estabrook, the second base umpire, making the call.
They could not have had a better look at it. Belt skies this one into left center field. Cowgill is going to catch. Pagan is going to tag. So Pagan is going to make third, a productive out for Belt. Well, the Cubs visit AT Park for a 4-game series the 1st of June. On Sunday, the first 20,000 fans will receive a Willie McCovey replica statue presented by Bank of America. 105 start. Go to sfgiants.com. Here's Arias. The A's will pull the infield all the way in. And the first pitch is high, 1 ball and no strike.
High by design. They think that Arias is a guy that has a hard time laying out that high fastball, and you can expect to see a few more of those from Cologne. Cologne, you're going to see a lot of fastballs, and he is a dart thrower. In, out, he'll elevate.
And tight, 2-0.
Hangar One, made here in San Francisco, is providing aerial coverage today from their very own blimp.
Beautiful shots, not just of the ballpark, but all around the park, the city. 2-0 pitch coming up to Arias. Swinging a fly ball, center field. Cowgill going back, tagging is Pagan. There's the catch. Here's the throw, and Pagan scores easily. 1-0 Giants.
If there's been a theme for this homestand, it has been the Giants' ability to cash in the sac fly situation. And they take the lead. Great at bat.
They had the luxury of a 2-0 count. Here's Burris with 2 outs and nobody on. Burris bunts. Cologne throws it off the glove of Barton, and Burris is aboard.
Well, they took it away with Josh Donaldson, the third baseman, playing very shallow on the third base side. And it's a bit of a gamble when you're going to try and bunt up the first base line against a right-hander. But Burris does, and Cologne hurries the throw and almost hits Burris. I think it did hit him.
So here's Lincecum.
It did hit him.
2 for 12 on the season. And Lincecum takes a strike.
Take a look at the bunt from the blimp. If he was deemed inside that baseline and was hit by the ball, he's out.
Lincecum foul on the left field line.
Our ball dude today, Steve Herendeen, making a pick.
Oh, 0-2 to Lincecum. And he got him to end the inning. Giants on the board. When we come back, Brian Wilson will join us, the man. With Brian Wilson. And
Gentlemen,
by the way, this looks like you.
I mean, I got glasses. We could probably make this work.
Yeah.
Stick this up a little bit. Doodle-doo. I'm a gnome.
Well, welcome to our booth.
Thank you.
It'll be Colin Cowgill to lead things off, facing Tim Lincecum. And the first pitch is down low. When you watch a game, do you watch it as a fan or do you watch it as a player?
I watch it as both and a charter. I was lucky enough to get a chart book by Mr. Kruko to my left, and I was going to save that chart book for the playoffs, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think that's a good reason.
Cowgill swings and misses. 2-1. And when you watch, like if you're watching Lincecum, you think he's got it today, or maybe he doesn't have it today. And I'm not necessarily talking about today.
Today was a good
start. It does
start.
look like he's got it today.
I'd say so. He fares pretty well against the A's.
Cowgill bounces this up the middle. Crawford behind the bag. Got him.
Nice play, great range.
Kid's got a cannon.
He does have a great arm. He's got all the tools. Let's take a look. A little bit of a lean right, had to make up for it, but no problem. I mean, he's got more that he can go to his left and still put an amazing throw on it because of that cannon he totes around. Nice weapon to have.
Here's Bartolo Colon. Bartolo doesn't quite look like he's into this at bat. He may just like wallop this one, but he just looks like he's gonna maybe take his 3 and sit down. And the fans here are noticing it.
Come on. He had to step back in the dugout.
He wanted to leave, and the umpire forced him to stay. And there he went at it.
So he was lulling you to sleep.
Maybe he was laying in the weeds, huh?
It's not a bad hack. The guy's hitting a $116 lifetime, so he's got a clue. Hey, if he can move the bat forward, he's a threat.
It's like a vicious hack there.
That's a swing built for a beer league, I got to tell you.
And now Colon can sit down. I mean,
that was fun.
In a lot of ways, it might be a little unnerving if you're standing on the hill and you know the guy's not going to swing.
That can happen sometimes. And then you walk the pitcher, and a whole crap load of people are on base.
Yeah, it's not like over the years you've had the chance to pitch to a lot of pitchers.
Well, I've had a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings. You guys know that.
Yeah.
They're overrated.
Here's Weeks, who struck out to lead off the ball game. He'll foul this one out of play.
So update us. How are you?
I'm great, actually. I'm ahead of schedule. Arm feels pretty smooth. I really want to pitch now. And I was talking to the doctors. No one's ever tried to. Everyone takes it pretty slow. Rehab is a little bit more progressive now with extension, but I told them, I said, I'm ready to throw a bullpen tomorrow. I don't know. Let's take our chances.
Yeah. Well, there's a few people in this Bay Area that would love to see that.
And it's just hit to center field. Pagan on the move, and it's going to sail over his head and then bounce on top of the wall and stays in. And Weeks is going to have a triple. And it's a good thing that Arias hung on, because Lincecum kind of got caught in between whether that was going to be a double or a triple, and he wasn't backing up.
Third triple of the year for Jemiah Weeks. And he's taking on the deep part of the yard. This is one of the parts of the yard where you would get carried with the normal wind.
He can absolutely fly around the bases.
Yeah, and for a little guy, he's got some pop in that bat.
But triples are fine when no one's on base.
Yeah, he can scoot.
You guys looking forward to going to Milwaukee?
Yeah. Well, maybe me sore than Mike.
Kipe's going home.
Hot dogs?
Oh, yeah, we're good for at least 5 brats a day.
Here's Pennington, who takes a strike.
But, I mean, I know you like to travel, and it's got to be hard for you not being able to make road trips because of your therapy.
Oh, that's absolutely true, but going to Milwaukee is one that you'd like to avoid, because after that road trip, you're guaranteed at least 5 to 8 pounds.
At least.
There's a check swing foul.
But we're excited about seeing this new yard in Miami.
Yeah, that's exciting. A lot of great talks about that.
I mean, is there a point in the season when you will start to travel?
Absolutely. We want to wait at least 12 weeks for the bone to heal in my arm, and then I'm joining the team.
0-2 pitch is high, 1-2.
It'll probably be more difficult for me traveling on the road, because I'll be in the dugout watching the game, sitting in my hotel room doing nothing.
Yeah, that would not be good for you. 1-2. Foul back.
Well, it's been well chronicled about how you take care of yourself, the type of workout that you've always had. Your conditioning is insane. But now that you are recovering from a substantial surgery, how has that altered the way that you work out?
Not at all. Doesn't alter it by any means. I think it was a blessing for me to kind of hurt my flexor last year, because I spent all off season working on my left hip. And sure enough, we took the tendon from my left leg. So little did I know I was harvesting an absolute beast tendon in my left leg, and we put it in my arm. But nothing's going to change. I mean, I did everything I could to not get hurt, and I've conditioned very well. I've put away crazy lifting. It's more of dynamic lifting, sports movements.
Let's play Buster Posey 2-2.
The thing that gets tedious about the arm surgery is the 2 hours of rehab for the next 340 days.
No days off.
And that's why you come back stronger.
Yep. 2-2 pitch to Pennington. He's in the dirt again, and it's 3-2.
That was not an easy ball to block.
I might even develop a new pitch. I don't know.
Well, you said at some point we're going to see a knuckleball.
Yeah, I don't think Rags would appreciate that. I tell him that every night before I go out.
Nobody's ever had a 95-mile-an-hour knuckleball.
And I'm going to say this one with a knock, and he gets so mad at me.
On the ground to second. Burris has it. Side retired. Lincecum pitches through the triple. It'll be the top of the order coming up. 1-0 Giants.
The Gnome.
Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Swing away for big league cash only at Cache Creek. Visit cachecreek.com for details.
1-0 Giants.
1-0 Gnomes.
Yeah, Gnome or Babes? They're kind of caught in between as Blanco pulls it foul.
I like the Gnome or Babes.
The Nomasitas?
The Marina Nomasitas?
It's a new catchphrase.
They're here somewhere.
And there's a flamingo. I don't know why.
Just because she can.
Fear the gnome.
Blanco struck out looking in the first inning. And here he takes one wide. Crawford and then Melky Cabrera. We're with Brian Wilson as he agreed to join us for a couple of innings.
Which was a no-brainer.
This is fouled out of play.
So, was it your idea, the Gnomes, or did they come to you with the idea of the Gnomes?
It came to me. There was no reshaping of this. This is the first prototype. They said, do you like it? I said, of course I like it.
That's pretty cool.
Look at this little guy. Diddly.
1-2 to Blanco.
You know, you'll be signing those for the next 10 years.
Totally fine. If you can catch me, I will sign it. You gotta catch me first.
Well, gnomes are hard to catch.
Yeah, they're nimble.
Just outside, 2-2.
Or they live under trees.
Yeah.
That's where I reside, in the Muir Woods.
How was that ride?
I didn't go on the ride. I'm not allowed.
2-2 pitch to Blanco. Blanco pops it up. It'll be Pennington, Smith, and Smith puts it away. Yeah, the lines were incredibly long as people waited to get into the ballpark to get their gnomes.
That's dedication.
It is.
Thank you, fans.
I mean, it just completely went around the ballpark.
No more waiting. Wow, that is far.
Isn't that great?
Oh, it went all the way to the Bay Bridge.
All the way to Livermore.
Here's Crawford. Crawford struck out on the first.
You guys have a great view up here.
It is a great view. There's only one problem with this view. If you're not careful, the game looks easy from here.
Yeah, it certainly does on TV.
There's a strike to Crawford. Oh, how could he miss that ball? Well,
right. Strike zone looks absolutely enormous on my TV.
Look at the gnomes, they're there.
Some gnomes, some fries. Like I saw the machine. There you are.
Yeah, he's around.
Section 220. Kaboom.
Well, you're right about the strike zone. It does look huge up there. It doesn't seem that way when you're 60 feet 6 inches away from the thing.
No, it's minuscule. It's like trying to hit a thimble.
2-1 pitch to Crawford, and Crawford takes low and in. 3-1. If Colon walks Crawford, that would be a story. And this person is missing the beard.
There I am.
Hey, they love to have fun at this park.
That's a fun giveaway. Nice job, Giants marketing department.
3-1 pitch. And sponsored by Comcast Sportsnet area. Crawford takes the walk.
Okay, we got to get you ready now. You're going to be the color analyst. Kite will do the play-by-play, and when we do the replay, that's you.
Let's get some replays then.
All right.
I'd like a replay of a homer right now. Just saying.
Just saying.
Cabrera blooped a double into left field in the first inning.
Where's Amy G?
End of the dugout.
There she is.
Yeah. Crawford with his lead. Outside corner, 0-1.
Now, Colon can throw darts. I mean, that's his style of pitching. You see a lot of fastballs. He's got big-time movement. He understands it. He knows how to control it. You have to take what he gives you. You have to think the opposite way. You cannot try and pull him.
Ooh, very close as Crawford had a little bit of a lean towards second base.
We're talking about Bartolo Colon being a great getaway day pitcher.
Absolutely. Strike thrower, all fastballs.
Doesn't waste a whole lot of time. For a big guy, pretty quick.
Crawford's sneaky. Didn't get his hand in there. No dice on the swipe, pal. Safe.
See, you're a natural.
I wouldn't be surprised if he
0-1.
hit it in the water.
Colon might be agreeing with him. He's staying away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Because Melky's a superhero. Guy joins our team. He does everything.
I'd like to see him in that Giants uniform for about 10 more years.
I bet he could come out of the bullpen.
He's got a cannon. One of the best left-handed arms we've seen out of the outfield in a long time.
1 and 2. Well, I would say that that would be a high compliment because you don't just invite anybody to the bullpen.
It's not my bullpen. We're a collective group out there.
That's right.
Anybody can come down there if they'd like. Just have to get out of the inning.
Buster Posey to follow. Crawford with his lead. And a shot into right field, a base hit. Crawford's going to go to third. Cabrera is 2 for 2. He can hit.
See? Superhero. Guy doesn't let you down.
Now he stepped right into that third slot in the lineup, and he hasn't missed a beat.
Here's Willie's replay.
He's just smooth and relaxed, just looking to get the bat head on the ball, and he gets exactly what he was looking for. He didn't try to fight anything. He didn't try to get too aggressive, and that's why he's been an amazing addition. Ooh, almost hit Crawford, but like I said earlier, he's sneaky. He's like a magician out there, taking third like it's his job, and it is his job.
Here's Posey, who bounced out to short. So Crawford, by way of the walk, ends up at third. Cabrera at first. And it's a strike to Buster Posey. Colon with 40 pitches.
See this statistic, 5 sac flies this series.
You guys see Bam Bam take batting practice?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Hit a bomb.
Unbelievable. It was like watching those softball guys.
So Buster Posey now behind in the count 0-2. And he'll take a little bit of a walk. See where Suzuki sets up. It's like they're going to try to come in, and it's low. I thought Buster Posey had a great quote today. Some of the writers trying to get Buster Posey to kind of, take a shot at the ballpark. They asked him, you feel bad, you've hit some balls that haven't gone out, that will go out in other places, and like only Buster can say, he said, I can hit the ball further.
You gotta love that confidence.
End of conversation.
Well, that's just like you said to him earlier when we won the World Series. You can't do that every year, and he said, why not?
To right field. Crawford goes back to tag. Reddick's got a good arm. Here's the throw home. It is not in time.
That's a good two-strike approach.
Oh, we've seen some big league baseball, and everybody involved in this play did everything right. Pitch away and up. Buster Posey in a 2-strike count, stays underneath it and goes out to Riddick. So it makes him tough, his ability to go with an outside location, backspin it out the other way. And watch Riddick get momentum into the throw. And then here's a 1-hop seed, make it a 2-hop seed. And Crawford slides in nicely.
We teach that in spring training. Model A.
Here's Pagan.
For those of you who don't know the song Pagan comes out to, it's by Gemini, and it's Blue. One of my personal faves.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, jump around's hard to beat. We haven't heard that this year. We miss it.
Well, we've got plenty of other great songs that can collectively make everyone jump around.
Pagan doubled and scored in the second.
How did that come about? How did you decide on the House of Pain?
You said it right there. It's the House of Pain. It's no joke. They're Irish rappers. They know how to bring it down.
So you heard it and said, that's me. I'm in.
I had to. I thought, why not? I want to jump around. No one really cared my first year. Everyone was sitting down. Didn't really know who I was. Kind of caught on fire a little bit. And I got to stick to it.
Well, that's a good one.
Just a really solid song.
It
Now every ballpark plays that song in the 7th. And my ears perk up. I think I'm pitching.
1-1 to Pagan. It's been not a surprise, Pagan, but maybe not a surprise to some. But he's been fun to watch.
He certainly has. He's an energy out there. And he takes the game seriously. That's what I like.
Cabrera with 6 steals. See if he goes here. He does not. And Pagan fouls it back. It's 2-2.
What do you miss most about not playing? I mean, I know you can just say not playing, but what is it? What's the one thing you miss most about not being able to suit it up?
The anxious feeling that you get watching the course of the game, knowing exactly what type of situation you're going to get into, who you're going to face, everything that involves walking out to the bullpen and then coming into the field. It's not the being out in the field necessarily that you miss the most. It's the preparation of what gets you there. It's working out in the gym. It's talking with your bullpen, looking at the game, watching the strike zones, watching your starting pitcher, looking at the other lineup, who's hot, who's streaking, who's cold that game. And then getting that just anxious feeling in your body. I want to be out there. I want to be out there now.
3-2.
That and all the free food that we get.
To Pagan. Runner goes, and Pagan pops this one up. Shallow center field. This could be tough. And Pennington hangs in there. It's a good thing he did to end the inning. They're the Gnomes. They're lined up. It's awesome. 2-0 Giants.
Bobblehead collector, you absolutely have to have this one. It's called the Wheeze, and it's designed and endorsed by Brian Wilson himself. The Wheeze features famous Nike orange cleats, a soft brushable beard, Fear the Beard logo across the chest, signature tattoos on his left arm and right wrist. Originally $42, the Wheeze is specially priced at $29 and is sold at all 8 Bay Area Dugout store locations. Offers good through May 27th, so get the Wheeze today.
Here's Josh Reddick, 2-0 Giants. We do have a Wheeze here.
He is here.
And maybe after this pitch, or
his beard's a little out of control right now. He has bad beard.
Between hitters, we'll give you a chance to look at this. As Reddick, check swing roller. Lincecum. 1 out. Here it is. It's pretty cool, I got to tell you. I asked Brian, I said, so have you seen this before? He said, I designed it.
Created this.
So I guess you have.
It's my mastermind.
So you can comb the beard, you can flatten it out, you can have fun with it.
Yeah, you can do it. I thought, why not have beard hair that you can move any way you want? It doesn't grow, though. That's the unfortunate thing. But you can trim it if you want a more clean-cut bobblehead.
Here's Seth Smith. Smith struck out in the first inning.
Who do you think would win, the Wheeze or the Gnome in a fight?
I'm going with the Gnome.
Yeah.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
It just looks more serious. I'm sorry.
Do you think he could win? No. Do you want to try something?
He's out.
Gnome.
So it was the Wheeze.
1-1 to Smith, a swing and a miss.
That is a good curveball right there.
1-2.
He's still out. He's sleeping.
He'll come back though.
On deck is Josh Donaldson. We're with Brian Wilson. And the 1-2 pitch is high, 2-2. We saw a good shot of the Wilson jersey with the 2010 World Series patch.
I saw the mini Mamacitas out there. Yep. Mini Citas.
No swing.
Well, you created the Marina Mamacitas, and now they're a pretty powerful group.
Yeah, it's a strong group. And they're taking over nationwide.
Well, you're right. We saw them in New York.
And it's basically anywhere there's a Lululemon store.
There's a base hit off the bat of Seth Smith.
I think right now we should probably throw it down to Amy G. I've
definitely missed my own personal, unique welcome from Brian Wilson while you've been rehabbing. Brian, all right, this one's for you. When you're not in your 2 hours of rehab, when you're not doing a 2,000-piece puzzle, log on to csnbayarea.com. We've got 5 different web series running, all brought to you by GoPro cameras. So lots of entertainment. The Amy G's Giants exclusive, you have yet to do one with me, so we need to set that up.
Thank you for the call out. I appreciate that.
Here's Donaldson, who swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike.
I will do an exclusive anytime.
There you go.
They just have to catch you.
Just have to catch me.
Donaldson bounced out to third in the 2nd inning. It's come out of the stretch. And tight, 1 ball and 1 strike. November 1st, 2010. Mike and I had coffee with you that morning. You remember?
Yeah, it was Albertsons.
Yep. And you said to us, we, meaning the Giants, we need to do this tonight.
Absolutely.
And of course, the next question was, okay?
Was it coincidence?
And you said, I'm on fumes. Remember that?
Yeah, that was an interesting outing that night. I don't really remember much. Like I said last time, and I think I ended up punching Darren Ford in the face accidentally when we were jumping around.
Of course.
That was a solid moment.
He deserved it.
Yeah.
Why are you bleeding? You punched me. Yes, I did.
Donaldson lines it to left. It'll be in front of Cabrera. So the A's with something going on here. This was the out that everybody was waiting for, and the one you were waiting for as well.
I don't know what he was looking for. That was a wild moment.
You know, it was really a great experience, and I didn't think anything could actually top that celebration until 2 days later, the parade.
Oh, man, that parade was something else.
Unbelievable.
I don't even think I could have envisioned that many fans and supporters out there.
That many happy people in one city.
So much confetti.
Yeah. Here's Barton.
I think I still have confetti in my face.
Nobody could have predicted that.
Yeah.
It just, and how it all just sort of happened.
And that's why San Francisco is awesome to play in. You got beta breakers. You're welcome.
1-0 to Barton. Barton struck out on a 3-2 pitch in the 2nd. 2 runners on here in the 4th inning. And Barton takes low, so it's 2-0.
Well, people here in the Bay Area in Northern California, they do celebrate life. And when something as special as a world championship in baseball comes their way once every 54 years, they do not waste the opportunity.
Saw that Ed Lee wrote a letter to the Golden State Warriors.
What did he say?
He asked them to come on over, come back. What do you think about that?
Here's the 2-0 pitch, and it's a strike to Barton.
Well, it'd be nice having him just up the street. That's where they put the new arena. That's one of the proposed sites.
I mean, I just got rehab. I don't mind watching a little hoops.
At second base is Smith. Donaldson is at first. And Barton fouls this one out of play. He waited pretty well on that breaking ball. So this is November 3rd. This was the parade and the confetti.
Notice confetti everywhere. So all you could do is scream and fist pump. And it's just like a natural reaction. You just have to. And then portions of the parade, a fence came down. I got really startled. I ran away.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
If the fence went down, I don't think either side of the fence would have known what to do.
Well, it was pretty interesting. We all got the speech from the SF Police Department about not leaving your car. Do not leave your car or whatever you're traveling in. And then we saw you leave the car.
Whoops. Mass hysteria.
You kind of had to do that, though, didn't you?
You have to. It's what everybody wants.
3-2 pitch to Barton, and Barton takes low. This was Civic Center that afternoon, and it was just packed. I mean, they were hanging from the rafters.
City of San Francisco.
We should do that again. What do you think, San Francisco?
Look at that group.
Hoff had a thong that he ripped off. Just all sorts of theatrical moments. Schwarzenegger was there.
Yeah, it was surreal. It was with the characters involved.
Newsom asked me to be the mayor. I was, what? Heck yeah.
Here's Suzuki with the bases loaded and 1 out. And it's down low. So Lincecum now pitching for the strikeout, pitching for the double play. He's got a 2-run lead here in the 4th inning. It's a 1-out single, then another single and a walk. 2-0. So now he's got to come in.
Suzuki has not had great success hitting in bases loaded situations.
Well, that can happen often with a hitter getting a little jittery, thinking he needs to do too much.
2-0. Swing and a miss. So he did not go with the fastball.
That's why sometimes it's an advantage as a pitcher to have bases loaded. I had him absolutely fooled. Sometimes that's what you need to do. You got bases loaded, you need to come up with something else. And the curveball right there gives himself some breathing room and a little bit more confidence.
Suzuki on the ground to third. That's a fair ball, and it's going to be an infield hit. There wasn't a whole lot Arias could do. Right over the bag at third. So it's a 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, I think he opted wisely in not making a throw. The very fact that he was able to spear that thing in a high backhand and prevent it from going down the line was a good play in itself. I mean, this ball was just barely fair. No time to get himself planted. Plus, he had to dodge James Hoy, the third base umpire.
Arias did a good job of keeping it in the infield.
Yeah. So here's Cowgill.
He's been another great addition to the Giants.
Swing and a miss by Cowgill. He has.
I feel like he can play anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's had a lot of clutch moments late in the game.
Plus, he looks like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Who came up with that nickname?
I don't know. Whoever comes up with the nicknames in the locker room, he needs to copyright them. But then Major League Baseball owns all of them.
Cowgill bounced out to Crawford, who made a nice play behind the bag. Here he takes high and tight, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Lincecum was cruising along through 3 innings, but he's thrown a lot of pitches. 74 now. Two balls and 1 strike.
It's one of those innings where you just have to manage.
Yeah, you got to grind it out because you got the pitcher on deck.
Well, a strikeout situation, and if there's one situation that Tim Lincecum is completely comfortable with, it is the strikeout situation.
Now it's 3-1. This will be pitch number 27 of the inning. Three and one. Up the middle, and that'll be a base hit. They're going to send in Barton. Here's the throw. It's cut off. And with the base hit, the A's take the lead. So the bottom of the order is Kurt Lincecum here in the 4th inning.
And Dave Righetti going to come out and talk to Lincecum right now. What are some of the things that Righetti will say to Lincecum?
Well, he's going to let him know that those weren't two bad pitches. He got a ground ball. Unfortunately, it was just in an unplayable spot. And right there, the guy fisted one. So right now, he just needs to keep his composure. He's got the pitcher up right now. Just needs to focus on that and not beat himself up about the inning and just go from there.
Is that something you want to do someday? Be a pitching coach or a manager?
I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. I feel like there's more pressure than actually being a player. Because you're out there and you could be responsible for saying the wrong thing.
Well, Bruce Bochy's going to get somebody up. So here's Colon, who's going to bunt or try to. And he pops it up, and Estepozzi got tangled up with Jim Joyce, and it snowballs in 1 strike.
The fans are growling a little bit at Jim Joyce, and there really isn't a whole lot an umpire can do. I mean, he's trying to get out of the way. And watch Posey will turn over his right shoulder. And there he has a little altercation there with Joyce. I don't think it would have made a difference. He turned the wrong way.
Yeah, those are difficult in itself.
It's a good bunt. And Belt is going to go to third. Well, Belt made that look easy.
That was a great play right there, Belt.
He made it look easy.
That's what we practice for 2 hours a day in spring training.
Oh, you love those PFPs. Let's take a look at the rotation. You watch the crash from Belt and see how aggressive he is, and he's got footwork to the lead bag, which is how you anticipate. He knows he has time. If the play isn't at third, he knows Bartolo Colon doesn't have a lot of speed, but the play's right there with room to spare.
He made that play right in front of the mound.
You know, Colon may be hurt. Big old fellow was running down the line and
might have pulled a hamstring. Probably get a cramp in the calf. And that's another thing that pitching coach will yell at you if you're out there in a bunting situation and you're trying to beat out a hit. Tell you to slow down, which I've heard many times. Yeah. But hey, when I'm hitting, I want to hit. I don't have a career hit yet. I'm trying to beat it out.
Oh, you're diving head first in the first.
Yeah, I had bases chucked in the NLCS in the top of the 9th in a 1-run ball game. I was a millisecond away from putting that out of the yard. And a slow dribbler to first.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah, they just weren't giving you anything to hit.
I know. Would have made it a lot easier to pitch the next inning.
Here's Weeks. Weeks is 1 for 2. He struck out in the first, tripled in the third. And that's going to go through the legs of Estepozzi, and he can't find it. And now we got action at home. And it's a major collision at home. And Lincecum got crushed.
Took a really tough hit there, but he's walking it off.
Looks like he got hit in the head.
Yeah, might have got hit in the face a little bit there. Well, he's a tough kid. He's not really going to let much phase him.
Ball in the dirt, and Buster can't find it. The worst feeling for a catcher, and Lincecum's directing traffic. Now he's got to position himself. Watch under the chin. And the head.
It's a dangerous play all the way around. But he's doing the right thing. He's covering home plate. He's got his feet positioned. It's just an unfortunate slide that took him right into him.
Calgo just popped him right up under the chin. So I'd imagine, if he hangs on to this, they may have gotten him.
I mean, there's a lot of things that could have gone wrong as far as an injury.
Well, he got smoked right in the jaw. And you're right, he is a tough guy. You have to be to take a hit like that and keep going. I mean, he got popped.
That might be the spark plug we're looking for today. Maybe our offense gets a little mad. Tim gets a little fire under his belt. Getting a couple of warm-up pitches here. That's just to get your timing back down, make sure you're okay. And obviously you got to tell the trainers that you're okay. And they want you to throw a few pitches. And you know you're fine, but you do it anyways.
Now one more look. You get a pretty clear shot. Cowgill popping him right under the chin. I know one thing. You watch this. Tim Lincecum can take a punch.
Yeah. Yes, he can.
Yeah, he was blocking home plate right there. He took it down to a knee like a catcher.
It's 1-0 to Weeks. Cologne obviously moves down to second. A's have scored 4 times here in the 4th inning. And a strike in the outside corner. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And that fastball is high.
You know, injuries seem to have been a big part of baseball this year. Guys are going down all over the place.
It's a more aggressive style of baseball these days. And it's one of the things you try to protect. You want to protect your player, so more often than not, the player's not the one who wants to go in the DL. It's the team.
3-1 to Weeks.
Up to me, I'd still be pitching. Ligament or not. Out milligram it.
Weeks is in discussion with the umpire. And it's 3-2.
I think Weeks is unsure of the count.
Yeah.
Two-one.
And the walk.
It's got to be a tough call right now for Bruce Bochy.
It's 35 pitches this inning, and you're right, it is a tough call. He knows how tough Lincecum is, and he's not going to want to come out. So he will give him every opportunity, at least to Pennington, to do that. And a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1.
Well, that's always a tough decision for the manager because the pitcher's never going to ask to come out.
Swing and a miss, another than 2.
There's nothing wrong with that curveball. I mean, fastball planted, a nice first pitch strike at the knees, follows it up with a very crisp, late breaking hook.
Oh, and 2. Very high, 1 and 2.
Those are my favorite pitches. That's when the catcher gives you the fastball sign, waves it up high, and that's when you just unleash fury.
See what he throws here. He throws the breaking ball, so it's 2 and 2.
For a starting pitcher, he's going to throw the fastball up high so he can set something up with an off speed. For a reliever, he's just going to throw you another heater.
And the 2-2 pitch is popped up. Should be playable. Crawford or Arias. It'll be Crawford. And Lincecum finally gets to walk off the mound. Damage done. A's with 4 runs.
presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LP.
A's now with a 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. We're with Brian Wilson, who's glad to join us for a couple of innings. So when you still walk around town, you get lots of love?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of support. Mostly get well soon, we miss you. And who's this guy in the sailboat out there? He's really feeling it. Those moves are absolutely nuts. The fans have been real supportive, like I said, and it just really makes me feel good during a time that deserves some sort of negative thought, but it still keeps me positive, and just it's a really warm feeling to have that kind of support.
Here's Belt, Arias, and Burris here in the fourth inning. And Belt takes a strike. Belt with a long fly ball into left center field. It was tracked down by Cowgill.
I was unaware that we had a massive battleship out there. What?
Yeah, they used to have two. And first time we saw it move was about 10 years ago, and both of them left. But that's a boat that actually can repair ships while they're at sea.
Chances of us broadcasting from there one game?
Yeah, we've been lobbying, but nobody's hearing us.
Well, they're from Sacramento, Mike.
The Gamer Babes from Sacramento are here. Bringing home the gnome.
Belt strikes out. That's Cologne's fourth strikeout, and here's Arias. Arias takes one in tight. He hit a sacrifice fly in the second inning. With Emmanuel Burris to follow. And we're seeing Shane Lukes go back to the bullpen, and that might mean that Lincecum's going to be out of the game if his spot comes up to hit. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, once you get off the field after you've had an injury and they get a closer look at you, and maybe that they're determining that he is done anyway, even if his turn doesn't come up to hit.
Yeah, that'll happen a lot when you have a long pitch inning. You get your pitch count up in 1 inning. And it might not even matter what your pitch count is for the game. It could be very taxing.
Here's the 2-2. And it's high, 3-2. So Giants need a base runner or 2. See, there's Wilson and Lincecum.
Best pals.
Here's the payoff. Little flare caught by Weeks. 2 outs. I got you. So Dave Gresham was looking at Lincecum's left wrist, so it might have got tangled underneath the slide of Cowgill. Here's Burris with a bunt single in the second.
I know one thing, he's going to feel it tomorrow.
Yeah. Burris takes wide, strike, no balls and 1 strike. You notice the view we have here is obviously of the playing field, but
it's spectacular.
The water is fabulous.
It's deceivingly cold. I've been in there a few times paddleboarding. I don't know why I chose to paddleboard to Alcatraz. Halfway out there, saw a few fins, got a little startled. I fell in the water. Just a bad afternoon.
Burris takes a pitch very close, 1-2.
There was my home for a year. I rented a house out there.
How's the commute?
Very long.
by paddleboard, I would imagine take a little bit of time.
Yeah, I'd leave on Tuesday to show up on Wednesday.
Have you ever taken the tour? The Alcatraz tour is great.
It's phenomenal. You put on the headset and you go through all the different times and the stories they have. I believe there's a nighttime one where you stay over.
Come on.
I might have just made that up, actually. They should have that.
A slumber party on Alcatraz. 1-2 pitch to Burris is wide. 2-2.
If they ever did offer that, it would sell out in 2 minutes.
As it should. That's something that we should probably lobby for. Let's get Ed Lee on it.
Are you and Ed close?
I don't know. Is he here?
No, I don't think so.
He was here the other day.
He was.
He usually catch 1 or 2 games a homestand.
Burris.
He does have a well-groomed mustache.
Right at Amy G. Amy, you all right?
Great hands, Amy. 2 thumbs up. She's got to be quick down there. A lot of foul balls. Can be dangerous.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Burris battling Cologne. A's leading 4-2. Burris takes low, so pretty good at bat. Nate Scherholtz is on deck.
This has been a good at bat. 0-2 to a 3-2. And there's not a lot of easy takes out there with Cologne because he is always caressing the strike zone. If he misses, it's just off. A guy like Cologne will definitely force you to expand the strike zone in 2 strike counts.
Well, it's very upsetting as a pitcher when you have 0-2 and you go 3-2.
All right, here's the payoff. And he walked him.
And that could be exactly what we need right now. 0-2 to 3-2, draws a walk. Could get Bartolo off kilter a tad.
Well, Nate Scherholtz is going to get a shot here in the 4th. If anything, Burris, with his speed, could possibly score on a double. So here's Nate Scherholtz. Scherholtz hitting .272. Pops the first pitch up. Pennington shading his eyes. Side retired. Willie, thank you. Thanks for stopping by.
Really appreciate it.
Always welcome.
And Monomians, till next time.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
It's a 4-2 lead for the A's. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Shane Luke's on now for Bruce Bochy's Giants. He has made one appearance where he pitched an inning in relief of Lincecum. And with Luke, you're going to see a low 90s fastball that he could four-seam and two-seam. He's got a lot of ground balls, too. He's got good sink on the fastball. Tight little slider. He'll throw a curveball and a changeup. He's got lots of things he can do with the ball.
Well, that was entertaining. He always is.
He is one of the most dynamic guys that we've ever been around.
Reddick skies this one out to shallow right field. It'll be Blanco. One out.
All right, right now let's ask our trivia question. It's brought to you by AT&T. Question today: name the 3 Giants pitchers to throw complete game shutouts versus the A's in Bay Bridge history. Let's think about that for a bit.
Here's Smith. Smith started the 4-run rally with a 1-out single in the 4th inning. First pitch is high to Smith.
And you know, the dynamic of Wilson is such that, you know, he's such a good teammate, and he continues to be on the disabled list, which is not easy.
Burris to Belt, 2 outs. Well, you're hitting the road and can't watch the Giants on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area? Well, shame on you. Take the Giants with you with MLB.TV. Subscribe to MLB.TV today. Visit sfgiants.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Here's Donaldson. Donaldson takes way outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
You know, when you're a player and you're an integral part of a team and an important part, like Wilson has been, and you get hurt, it's tough to maintain your voice. There's so much of what is said in a clubhouse it has to be said by the guys who are making the biggest contribution. Yes. And when you're on a disabled list, you're no longer able to do that. And a lot of guys become quiet. But he finds a way to make a difference, and he does it in a very cool way. Good teammate.
That's just outside.
But he is excited. I mean, this is his second go-around with the Tommy John surgery. And he said he's ahead of schedule, and he's proud of that.
On the ground to Crawford. And Luke for the nice 1-2-3-5. Top of the order coming up. 4-2 A's.
Bay Area is brought to you by Columbia Pictures movie That's My Boy, starring Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg, in theaters June 15.
All right, it's 4-2 Oakland. Blanco leads things off.
The Nome field advantage. I think the Nome is a hit.
Yeah, I think so too. Blanco is 0 for 2 as he takes low.
You know, over the years, we've seen some pretty amazing characters come through Mike Murphy's clubhouse. Guys who are recognizable and have a massive following. Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell, Barry Bonds, Matt Williams. I don't know if there's ever been an athlete as popular as Wilson.
Oh, we had people trying to jump in the front of the booth once he came in here.
It is just amazing, and he handles it very well. In fact, he has a lot of fun with it.
1-1 pitch to Blanco. 1-2.
You know, that type of recognition can be suffocating. But he is really well suited for the admiration he gets in this town. It totally energizes him.
Outside to Blanco, 2-2. Crawford on deck, and then Melky Cabrera, the 2-2 offering. 3-2. So Colon always unhappy when he throws 3 balls to a hitter.
Yeah, he doesn't give you a lot of strike zone to look at. He's got a slight crouch. He's on top of the plate.
Foul back as Colon went right at him.
It just seems every time he needs to make a pitch with the fastball, he goes away. And in this ballpark, I think that's a wise philosophy. I don't see that many opposite field home runs in this ballpark.
And he got him looking.
Blanco not totally in agreement with that call from Jim Joyce. And Bruce Bochy is always going to react to how the hitter reacts. The ball is outside the knees of Suzuki, but it still could have caught a corner. I think his target was more to the inside part.
Here's Crawford. Crawford 0 for 1. He walked and scored in the third. Here he fouls it back. Melky Cabrera on deck. Giants down by 2. Crawford with a base hit to right field.
Well, what do you say we ask and answer our trivia questions brought to you by AT The question today: name the 3 Giants pitchers to throw complete game shutouts versus the A's in Bay Bridge history. Our survey said, well, Litzkin did it twice, Matt Cain did it, and Jerome Williams did it.
Cabrera is 2 for 2, a double and a single. Takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Buster Posey is on deck. Crawford with his lead. And a little flare into center field. That's going to be a hit. Crawford is going to put on the brakes. He's got the 1 going, folks.
Boy, another 3-hit day for Melky Cabrera. And you're right. That's not a bad pitch either from Cologne. It's just right there, maybe a bit off the plate away at the knees. They've got enough of it to get it out in the outfield. Well, with one out here, the Giants are barking.
Posey, 0 for 1, sacrifice fly in the third.
Third 3-hit game of the year for Melky Cabrera.
Perfect pitch from Cologne, and it's 0-1.
Definitely a pitcher's pitch. As you see Jordan Alberto start to get greased up for the A's. Melky Cabrera also has a 4-hit day, so 3 threes and a 4. He's not done yet today.
And they're loaded. So here's Pagan. Pagan is 1 for 2.
Trying to jam on the hands. He gets a little heat seeker, goes up, and Posey's got nowhere to go. Takes it off the tricep of his left arm. Shouldn't be much of a bruise, but they'll take the base. That's a gift.
Crawford, Cabrera, Posey are your base runners. Pagan had a big hit yesterday.
Now this was a 2-run single. They made a 2-0 game a 4-0 game. And he has been giving the Giants those type of hits for a while now. Not often you say after a guy has a 20-game hit streak he got hot. Well, you can say that about Pagan. And he loves the bases loaded.
To Pagan. And now Cologne is ready. In a lot of ways, it almost looks like the same pitch.
Well, and that's why Pagan's shaking his head. He goes, you can't have it both ways. You called that pitch a ball just a second ago. Now I can't trust it. Now if you throw it out there, I have to cover it.
And that's not a strike.
It's not. It's a pitcher strike.
Out of play, and you're right. Cologne goes right back to that same spot again.
Well, you saw Suzuki. I mean, he stretched it out even wider. This is a fly ball situation. I mean, it's the 5th inning. You're down 2 runs. It's a situation, a time where you could get a little greedy, but you need to get a fly ball out in the outfield enough to score that run. That's your goal in this at bat. You get anything more than that, all the better. Can't strike out. You got to put it in play.
Crawford at third. It's Cabrera at second, and then Buster Posey at first. 2 singles and a hit batter. In center field, Cowgill shading Pagan a bit towards left center. Way off the line and right is Reddick. Here's the 2-2 to Pagan, and it's strike 3 call.
Big strikeout for Cologne. Throws him with front door action. Watch him buckle. They set up an inside corner. And the movement brings it back.
Everything was away until then.
And he saved it for that 2-strike count.
So here's Belt. Belt does a deep fly ball out and a strikeout. Giants and Brendan Belt can pick up his teammate right here. Out of play, 0-1.
Got two now. He's having a day. All right, let's watch this one. Oh yeah. Two-handed grab.
Oh, and 1 to Belt. Belt out of play. Now it's another and 2.
Fans are putting on a show today with some of the grabs we're seeing off the foul balls.
Klay Thompson on the right. The rookie, not a rookie now after last year, but a rookie last year with the Warriors. And now Suzuki's going to go out and have a word. Giants looking for that 2-out base hit.
You think back on how they saved the payoff pitch in the at-bat with Pagan. They went away, and then they went inside with front door movement. And that may be what they're talking about right here. They've gone 2 pitches, 2 fastballs, both away to Belt. And if the inside corner's ripping set up, it's right now.
1 and 2.
Slider well placed below the back, below the strike zone with the back foot. And a nice take from Belt.
One and 2 to Belt. Making you think about it, isn't he?
I mean, that's what they say. They're not comfortable takes. He's always around the zone, teasing you.
Well, I mean, he's not teasing you with 86. He's teasing you with 91. Watch Suzuki. See if he sets up in or out. Here it comes in.
Ooh, he just missed it. Colon had a step towards the dugout. And there is that front door action we're talking about. You can see Suzuki setting up late. He just missed.
Runners are beyond the move. It's 3 and 2. And here it comes. Swinging a bouncing ball foul. So Belt enjoyed it so much, he fouled it off to hear the crowd again.
Do it again.
Colon off the mound as he rubs up the baseball. Pennington is playing Belt to pull on the infield. Three and 2. Here it comes. Got him. The same pitch he threw Pagan, he throws to Belt, and it remains 4-2.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Call 877-60-SOLAR for a free analysis or visit thesolarco.com.
All right, here at AT Park, it's a 4-2 lead for the A's. Disappointing inning for the Giants. An opportunity that's wasted as they leave him loaded. So Luke's to face Barton, and Barton swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike.
It is a frustrating inning, especially when you have a couple of strikeouts end it with the bases loaded. But they had no problem setting the table. And they have had no problem setting the table this whole homestand. So you just have to set it again.
Inside to Barton. Barton drew a walk off of Lincecum in that 4th inning where the A's scored 4 times. Inside corner strike. I will say this though. If you like watching catchers and pitchers set up hitters, then Colon and Suzuki put on a clinic.
Well, they really did. I mean, they saved that inside front door sinker until they knew that it could be effective. And they got the 2 strikes away, then they went inside to get the strikeout. And that is a paralyzing pitch. I mean,
well, when you think of the amount of time you have to make a decision to swing or to take, when it leaves the pitcher's hand, you're thinking, well, that's inside. And once you give up on it, then you have no chance.
It's over.
There is an emergency swing isn't going to help. And shocker, 3-2 to Barton.
He's got to lead the world in 3-2 counts. Has to.
Foul over the arcade. Out of play.
And we want to say hello to Henry Caruso, a friend of ours who is a little under the weather right now. Henry, a big Giants fan. And we miss him being out here. So Henry, get better. And hope to see you soon. Back out here where you belong.
Yeah, we don't like our fans being under the weather.
Yeah, that's not good.
So Shane Luke's throwing another 3-2 pitch to Barton. And Barton again fouls it back. Amy has got a boatload of fans out there, and I don't think Amy looked tired enough where she spent all night making these signs.
No, this guy wants your phone number. Sorry, pal, she's taken.
Yep. You want to mess with Mr. Gutierrez. Three-two pitch. Burris with the catch. 1 out. Well, Jeff and I's little brother, Glenn, it's his birthday today. And this was a picture of Glenn and I on the farm. And I was allowed to paint that day, and he wasn't. My dad said, "Oh, no, you're not going to paint." But there's Glenn. And when he was a little brother, there's 13 years difference. He was always within 5 steps of me. And on that day, even though he couldn't paint, he was at least going to be in the general area.
See, you gave me your helmet from SIU.
Sorry. So anyway, happy birthday, Glenn. There he is.
I like the cutoff pants you got on.
Forget about the pants. Those Yeah, that looks bad.
But you can pull it off now.
That looks bad. Those are painting pants in Wisconsin.
Yeah, well,
It's the only time you wear them when you paint.
he'll be back on the farm tomorrow.
Yes, we will. In tight to Suzuki. Suzuki had an infield hit, a ball hit over the bag at third that knocked in a run. It was all part of that weird fourth inning where Lincecum gave up the 4 runs. Three and one. And that's foul into the first row of the upper deck, and then it falls down below. This is not a beautiful day. Crowd, my goodness.
Yeah, the crowd
Clear.
It has been a very festive weekend.
Been a nice homestand. Center field. Pagan back. Ball starting to carry, and Pagan's going to put it away. And let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, gentlemen, the Panda and Ryan Terrio will not be joining you guys on the plane to Milwaukee because they're on their way to Arizona. Pablo will be getting some baseball work in while the Giants are on the road trip. Maybe start swinging a bat. Bruce Bochy said today he's a couple weeks away. Ryan Terrio will be taking some ABs while in Arizona and working on his timing and join you fellas in Miami. He's due to be activated off the disabled list on Thursday.
All right, good stuff. Here's Cowgill. Cowgill takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
He took that pitch like he thought he was going to get plunked.
I think he did, yeah. One ball and one strike. Cowgill's base hit knocked in 2 runs in the 4th. Hit out to Blanco in right field, and he'll put it away. So Luke 6 up, 6 down. For the Giants, it'll be Arias, Burris, and Luke.
Of course, I pre-scan when we go back to second inning, and Emmanuel Burris puts down a drag bunt and pulls it off. And look at the carom, almost hits him and goes into the glove of Barton. It's your Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Hey, there's your boat.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Jordan Norberto, the new pitcher now for the A's. You see his body of work. The 17th time he's come in. No record with a 3.05 ERA. 16 strikeouts against 7 walks. Just 20 base runners and 20 2/3. Those are excellent numbers. And he's got a good fastball. 92-94 is a pretty good sink. And a slider for the most part. Pretty explosive slider.
Arias 0 for 1, a sacrifice fly in the second. And he takes a strike. A bluff of a bunt. Donaldson came in, so did Barton. On the ground to third. Donaldson all over it. 1 out. All right, it's time for Subway Eat Fresh. Ask Crew Kipe, Nathan from Petaluma. You guys still like interleague play after all these years? Would there be anything you would want to change?
Well, I do like it, and I was a slow worm to like it. And the thing that has won me over is just as to how it has been received by the fans. Fans love it all around the country. I mean, you get the natural rivals, and those are big series and a lot of anticipation, almost like little playoff games.
Well, I would change one thing.
What's that?
And that would be you and I would get to pick the cities that we play.
I absolutely agree with that. Jeremy Afro getting greased up now.
And we would go to Seattle every year.
Remember that.
But next year, and I don't know what the schedule looks like for next year or where the cities will be, but it would be nice to see Yankee Stadium, the new one.
In all of the time they've had interleague play, the Giants have been to Yankee Stadium once. They've been to Fenway Park once. Cleveland once.
Tampa?
Once.
1 and 2. 2 and 2. I think only once to Chicago. Because I've never done a game from the White Sox ballpark. What's it called?
Comiskey?
U.S. Cellular. So Burris works at the 3 and 2.
I can't get over Comiskey. That's just too good of a name for a park.
Burris tried to reach for Brett Pill, who's on deck. And the 3-2 pitch is strike 3 call.
Well, the Cubs are coming to San Francisco for a 4-game series, June 1st through the 4th, and June 1st is Orange Friday. Saturday, June 2nd, special 4:15 time. The Giants and Cubs are going to be turning back the century as both teams will be wearing their 1912 uniforms. Sunday the 3rd, first 20,000 fans will receive a Willie McCovey statue replica presented by Bank of America, and then the finale Monday is a 12:45 game. So come on out.
So Shane Lukes is hitting, and well, he's swinging, and it's 0-2. Giants have struck out 8 times, 6 looking. Lukes, all right, foul down the right field line and out of play. Had Burris reached, you would have seen Pill. But with all the left-handers that these A's have, you really want to save Pill with somebody on. As Lukes pops it up, it'll be Barton or Suzuki. Barton side retired. 7th inning coming up for 2A's.
The upper deck? No way!
Our Toyota game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Cowgill's got a couple of RBIs. Cologne, well, he can win this game. Pagan is hit safely now in 31 of 32. Lincecum left after 4. He threw 90 pitches. Aerial coverage brought to you today by the Hangar One blimp, made here in California in an actual aircraft hangar. How about that? Eric Sogard is going to pinch hit. So Sogard hitting for the pitcher, and Luke's first pitch is high. So Umberto will only go 1 inning. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sogard, I'm sorry, Mike, hitting 138.
Talking about the fastball action from Shane Lukes. I mean, he's got lots of movement that runs away from the lefty.
Hit well out into right center field. It's Blanco putting it away.
Time now for our Geico quote of the game. Ryan Vogelsong, when asked if he has proven that he is not a fluke, he says, "No, I think I need to do it for a whole season. I know I talked to you guys about it at the end of last season and the spring. That's my big goal, to have another solid year and put all that aside. I still feel like I have something to prove." And you have to feel that way every day you're in the big leagues. Because you do have something to prove. You're only as good as your last at bat. You're only as good as your last start or your last appearance.
Here's Weeks. Weeks takes a strike.
A good appearance, a good outing, a good at bat, good game. It'll keep the wolves off your heels, but you got to keep moving. Keep trying to prove it every day.
Pagan out in the left center field. Glides over and makes the catch. It is a gorgeous day. It's one of those days where you don't want to get on a plane and leave.
Not even to Milwaukee?
Not even to Milwaukee. You want to hang. It's supposed to be cool in Milwaukee.
62 degrees tomorrow. That's the forecast.
That was a great shot of this area. Strike to Pennington, who's 0 for 3.
Giants 3 in Milwaukee, then 4 to Miami to see a brand new ballpark. Means we get to read a brand new book.
Yep. There's a solid single to left by Pennington. First base runner against Lutz. See Brian Wilson here, and then he goes right down into the seats and he hangs with the fans.
Yeah, that's pretty good likeness right there. Giants are in game 10 of a stretch where they're playing 20 straight games. Next day off they get will be the next homestand, the 31st of May.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that, Thursday?
That's a Thursday. A rare off day at home.
In between two teams?
Yeah.
Reddick takes slow, 1 ball and no strikes. And who's coming in on that other side?
We got Arizona for 3, off day. Then the Cubs come in for 4.
Okay.
Giants are home a lot in June.
There's a Thursday off. The Cubs come in. Is it a wraparound?
Yes, it is.
Reddick skies one. Well hit. Center field. Pagan back. It is gone. The Giants had held Reddick down the entire series until here in the 7th inning.
And we talked about how there is carry to center field today, and Reddick just was the benefactor. I mean, that ball was hit well, but he got a nice little 15-20 foot push from the winds. Ball middle away. Watch the head stay still through the swing, and watches it backspin right out of here. This one hurts.
Number 11 for Reddick. And here's Smith. In this series, that's only the 2nd home run hit. Giants haven't hit any. The A's have hit 2. Remember, Donaldson hit one off of Zito on Friday night. Ellison heading down to the bullpen. Smith takes it in the dirt. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, I will say this. Just talking about Giants hitters, Buster Posey probably could have had 2 or 3 under better conditions. He had a couple just flat out knocked down by stiff breezes here at the park. Pagan moving back, and Pagan's going to make the catch. And that'll end the inning. 2 runs on the board. It's now 6-2 Oakland.
on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club. Make it a combo with fries and a drink.
6-2 Oakland as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Grant Balfour in now for the A's. 22nd time that he has come in for Bob Melvin. He has been a workhorse. Started out the season as a closer. Now he is setting up. Time now for our Solar Company electrifying play of the week. We go back to Monday in a game where the Giants were trailing 1-0. Christian Friedrich, the young left-hander for the Rockies, and when Gregor Blanco stepped up and did this, hit his first home run as a Giant. It was a bomb to right center. It tied the score. The Giants were going to win that ball game. And that is our Solar Company electrifying play of the week. That was a good one.
It was a good one. So this crowd of 41,378 hoping for a comeback.
Well, I mean, this is where it has to start. When you have your leadoff hitter coming up and you're down by 4, I mean, this is an inning where you need to make some noise.
Here's our McDonald's True Stories on May 20th, 2006. You might remember this. Barry Bonds hits home run number 714 against the A's. Brad Halsey, the home run ties him with the great Babe Ruth. Brother Aisha watching and clapping and cheering. Nikolai, the son. And that home run was hit across the bay. So here's Blanco, who takes wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Blanco is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, both looking. Here it looks like he's taking all the way.
When you hit out Balfour, you're going to see a pretty healthy fastball. Let it go low to mid-90s. Curveball slider. But he's pretty courageous with that fastball.
Which means he's probably got a lot of confidence in that fastball.
Yeah, that's what that means.
So the Giants, bottom line, they need some base runners. And the 2-1 delivery is wide, 3-1. Now Colon got that a couple of times.
Yes, he did. There have been a lot of called strike threes in this game.
Yeah, the Giants 6, as a matter of fact.
Blanco taking that 3-1. I mean, it's something we see him do a lot when the Giants are down. Put the pressure on the pitcher.
Out of play. Out of play again.
Nice play. Out of bed.
All right, look at that smile.
Oh, yeah. You didn't think you were going to be a hero when you got here.
This is hit out to left field, hit pretty well. It starts to carry. Smith on the track, and he reaches up and he makes the catch. Autism Awareness Night is Wednesday, May 30th. Be part of the pregame VIP experience in Triples Alley with a visit by Giants great Will Clark. Partial proceeds from each special ticket purchase will be donated to Autism Speaks. 415-972-2298. Here's Crawford. Crawford was walked and he singled.
Crawford's had a good day, and he's had a good home series. This whole homestand has been good to him. You see Edlison starting to get greased up.
Yeah, he's starting to look more comfortable. And comfort's a big part of this game. Feeling like you belong is a big part of this game. Belfort took a walk off the back of the mound as if to have a word with himself. See if it helped. Yep. It's 3-1.
Well, it can't hurt. You're talking about the homestand that Crawford's had. I mean, he started this homestand hitting 204. He's now at 238.
If you as a hitter can mix in a walk and throw out a hit, 1 for 4, 1 for 3. Stay away from the 0 for 4s, 0 for 5s. Stay away from any of the offers if you can, but a walk really changes things significantly.
Well, and that's where he needs to improve. I mean, he needs to have a better on base percentage. He's at 276 before today's game. He'll just keep doing what he's doing. That number will climb.
Pulled foul.
Right fielders love this. They're thinking that's the ball dude's job.
Yeah. Reddick, however, is just coming off a home run, so he doesn't care.
Prior to that home run, he'd have cared.
He would have been tacked. And Crawford out swinging. 2 down.
Alford just going out of the fastballs, taking advantage of that 4-run lead.
Here's Melky Cabrera.
Just here, hit me fastball right through the zone. And Crawford sent packing.
Cabrera's 3 for 3, a double and 2 singles.
Yeah, well, I guarantee he's not too excited about Cologne being out of this game with 3 hits.
Yeah,
he has not had much success against Balfour. 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts. But right now, I mean, he's seeing it pretty big.
He is. Melky Cabrera with his 4th hit as he lines it to left field as he takes that wide turn.
Well, let's take a look at Melky Cabrera's game. First inning, steps up, and he gets this gift. Ball misjudged, drops in, so that's his first knock. Then he rakes one through the hole on the right side of the infield. That's his second one. 5th inning, another magic wander. Just throw it out there. And here, probably the most impressive one, hitting a bullet to left field the opposite way. A 4 for 4 day, second one of the year.
Strike to Buster Posey.
Third Giant with a 4-hit game in the Babe Ruth series. So the first time he gets into a Babe Ruth series, he makes a little history.
Yeah, in the books.
Very cool. Plus, you join the ranks of Stan Javier and Jeff Kent. That's good company.
Two good guys. Low to Buster Posey.
But Jim Joyce played umpire. Thought about that one.
Cabrera goes and Posey pops it up. Shallow right field. Weeks. And Weeks is going to hang on and then get clipped. And that'll end the inning. Pop up, sun, wind, that's what you get. It's inevitable.
Hey, come on, it's Northern California.
Make sure everybody's all right. Almost looks like they're dancing. To you from Miller Park in Milwaukee, Giants and the Brewers. It'll be a 5 p.m. start here in the Bay Area. Pregame live will start at 4:30. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, it'll be Bumgardner against Wolf. And then on Tuesday, it'll be Kane and Markham. And then on Wednesday, Zito and Estrada. The Wednesday game, note the time, it's 9:30 a.m. here in the Bay Area. So have a little brunch with us. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Steve Edlifson, the sinker baller, in now for Bruce Bochy. 8th time he's come in. It's an important outing for him. The last time he was out, he got hit hard. It hadn't happened to him this year until the last outing. Oh.
It came up and caught Donaldson. It looked like on the ear.
You don't expect this.
Here comes Bob Melvin.
You do not expect to have your jaw popped when you're in the batter's box. When you're swinging at what you think is a strike.
Yep.
I mean, that does not cross your mind. Head slap to get your attention. I mean, that hit him hard too, right off the plate.
There isn't ever once as a hitter do you think you need 2 ear flaps until then.
Ear flaps and a face guard.
Down low to Donaldson. 1 ball and 1 strike. A new one. And a Buster Posey fan.
Oh yeah. Came out of the womb a Buster Posey fan. That'll happen these days. He's popular.
Crawford on the ground. All right, it's so much fun having Amy G here, so let's go to Amy again.
All right, Dwayne, when you guys come back from the road trip, bring your gloves, please. It is the Junior Giants annual glove drive on June 2nd, and we're asking all fans to bring a new or used glove. You can also donate money that day. There'll be lots of spots around the park to do it. If you can't make the game, don't worry about it. Log on to juniorgiants.org, and you can make a donation that way. $10 buys a glove, guys, and over 9,000 kids don't have them that play Junior Giants baseball, so this is important.
Yes, it is. And we're going to be hearing it a lot until June 2nd from me, from Mike, from Dave, John. We'll try not to be that obnoxious about it, but you'll be hearing about it a lot.
Well, it's important.
Low to Barton. Yeah, kid's got to have a glove for crying out loud.
Well, and
imagine saying this could play catch and, well, I don't have a glove.
If you're a junior giant, you will have a glove. And there are now almost 20,000 junior giant players across California. Been very successful.
We get a box full from a woman in, I think it was from the great state of Washington. It was about 20 gloves. She had her own glove drive. This came just on this homestand. Still, the guy's got a ball, and he's not giving it up.
No, nor should he have to. Keep that one around. That's a reminder of a good day.
Two and two to Barton.
I remember the day I got my first glove. I was in second grade. Up until then, I've been using my sister's glove. And when I got my own glove, I was stoked.
Mark it on the calendar.
Went to bed with it.
2 and 2. Who's hitting? Barton?
I'm thinking about my glove. Leave me alone.
So is it 3 and 2 again?
Yeah, 3-2.
4 times today.
Hey, it's automatic. Just put them in there at 3-2. Now leave me alone, will you? I want to think about my glove some more. Front door sinker. I mean, we saw that used by Cologne earlier in the game, and now Edlifson bends Barton back. Such a great pitch because, like you say, you give up on the pitch. Watch him buckle. See ya. Comes right back in the zone. And Jim Joyce says, looks pretty good from here. Grab some pine meat.
Here's Suzuki. Suzuki, an infield hit in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. Both teams with 7 hits. Really the difference in this game. The A's in the 4th inning had 4 of those hits, and they bunched them all together, and right in between was a walk. And there you go. 0-1 to Suzuki. For the Giants in the 8th inning, they'll have Pagan, Belt, and Arias. Up the middle. Crawford dives, comes up just short, and Suzuki's got his second hit. Well, big happenings tomorrow morning. Tune in to the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KNBR tomorrow morning. Mike will be in Milwaukee, and he'll be talking to the guys, Murph and Mac, on KNBR 680, the sports leader.
Lots to talk about this weekend. A lot of things have gone on in this 3-game series with the A's. We'll be talking about that.
There's a strike to Cowgill. Cowgill 1 for 3. He's had one of the big hits in this game. He knocked in a pair of runs in that 4th inning with a base hit.
Well, he's got his own support group.
Yes, he does. Cowgill takes low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a strike. It's 2-2.
Snell in that outside corner with that type of movement, there are not a lot of guys are going to hurt him.
Tell you who he's on deck. Woodruffson staring in to Buster Posey. And the 2-2 pitch is fouled off the backstop.
Went right back at that same location. Cowgill probably put the best swing on it he could, and it's kind of an emergency swing. Anytime you could do that to a hitter with a fastball, you've made a great pitch to location.
Two and two. And now it'll be a full count, and Suzuki will take off. Three balls, 2 strikes. Suzuki, he takes off, and Cowgill strikes out swinging to end the inning. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. San Francisco Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group. 6-2 A's, bottom of the 8th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and tune-up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
One of the real bright spots in the A's bullpen this year has been this guy, Ryan Cook. Picked up from the Diamondbacks, 18 strikeouts in 19 2/3. Just 4 hits allowed in 19 2/3. That gives you an idea of how tough this guy's been. And he's got a good fastball. It's a healthy one. Low to mid 90s. You can sink it.
A little
lots of
jerky
movement
too.
Yeah, he's got a little herky jerk. Strong.
This was a scary moment for Giants fans. Cowgill came in, and with the head first slide, he popped up, and Lincecum got caught under the chin. He had his wrist caught underneath him. We're assuming that everything's fine. He did leave after 4 innings. So here's Cook. Giants need some base runners. Because Cook has been so good, it's been a bit odd for Grant Belfour. He goes from closer to the seventh
inning game. Well, I consider it. Guy's throwing the 7th inning. That's a setup guy to me.
Well, no, dude.
7th, 8th innings, those are your setups, and then you got your closer. But this guy has come on with a storm. Ryan Cook out of Clovis, to Clovis High School, then he went to SC. Pac-12 guy. Got underneath that breaking ball. But he does not lack for arm strength. And you saw the movement that he gets. Big guy, 6'2", 220.
Got him, and Pagan knew it. Another Giant that strikes out looking here this afternoon.
Now, the first time you see a guy's breaking ball, you are disadvantaged, plain and simple. This thing starts out, did not identify it, and the thing crashes right back in the zone. And file it away in your database.
Here's Belt. When Billy Beane traded Trevor Cahill and Craig Breeslow, it was like, what? As Belt fouls it back. Well, in return, they got Jared Parker, who pitched the other night. Didn't pitch well, but has pitched well. They got Cowgill. And they got this guy. So a lot of times you have to wait a significant period of time to find out how a trade works out. Well, this one looks like it's going to work out just fine. 7 strikeouts looking for the Giants today.
That's a lot of called strike threes. Joaquin Arias on deck.
8 looking today. And that's the hat trick for Brandon Belt.
Yeah, pretty much the same pitch that Cook threw Angel Pagan. It's just a late break. He's seeing this thing away, and all of a sudden, whap, the very last instant, it snaps back in the strike zone. And boy, that is one of those at-bats that really frustrates not just the hitter, frustrates the fans.
And the hitting coach is. So here's Arias.
Giants running out of outs.
There's a strike to Arias. It's 1-2. Arias takes one in the dirt. Well, Christina Loren is here from NBC Bay Area Weather. She's on the right.
Well, welcome back.
That's called Weather Attitude.
This is not her first game either.
Should ask her what it's going to be like in Milwaukee. I know what it's going to be like in Miami.
You know, we don't even care about Miami anymore.
Hit out to right field. Reddick comes in, and that'll end the inning. So nice job by Cook. Ninth inning coming up. Weather Attitude.
Live presented by Farmers every Tuesday at 5 p.m. here on Comcast Sports in the Bay Area. You can find out about your Giants right from the GM himself. He will be a guest on Chronicle Live every Tuesday this baseball season, so check him out. Tuesday 5 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. 6-2 A's as Steve Edlifson begins his second inning of relief.
He takes down low, 1 ball and no strikes. See the numbers for Kaihui: 264, a home run, 8 RBIs. He's strong and he takes a pretty healthy uppercut. Guys that take uppercuts, usually pretty good low ball hitters.
Good sinker ballers. You bet.
Here's the 2-0 pitch, swinging a bouncing ball foul.
Guy who is 6'4", 240-pounder. A big fella. And this is not a game that really is designed for tall hitters. It's just not.
Burris from the outfield grass. 1 out.
If you were to design a prototypical hitter, you say a guy about 5'11", short arms.
We had that guy, Jeff Bagwell.
Yeah.
I mean, we had this discussion before. Giants wish they'd have had that guy, but he's kind of like the perfect size. Steve Garvey.
Yep.
Dave Winfield.
Nope.
Enos Cabell.
Too tall.
There's Weeks who takes a strike.
I mean, Winfield has to be one of the greatest tall hitters in the history of the game.
Absolutely. Frank Howard. How did he do it?
He was tough. He was 6'8". Now 6'8", yeah, you want to see a guy with a pitching toe on his foot at 6'8". Tall pitchers, there you go. The hitters, disadvantage.
Weeks sends this one into the seats. Foul. Melky Cabrera, perfect size.
Perfect size. Perfect size.
Willie Mays, not a tall hitter. He's probably what, 6 foot in his playing days,
yeah,
5'11"?
Right there, 6 foot. He had hands like he was 7'3", though.
He was a bricklayer. That pitch went right through Jemile Weeks. How it didn't hit him, I have no idea.
I don't know, but I want him on my dodgeball team. I'll never forget the first time I ever shook hands with Willie Mays. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Thought I was shaking hands with the guy who had a glove on his hand.
Same way with, well, you know, a lot of those guys in that generation. Frank Robinson, Orlando Cepeda. I mean, the list goes on and on. You go, oh, well, great. I'm not going to shake his hand again. Or if you don't get in there,
yeah,
you're really in trouble.
You shake hands, you better get a good grip, or you're going to come back and you'll be missing a finger or two.
Down the right field line, foul. Everybody all right? Did that little guy get it? Yes, he did. Yep.
I'm a little concerned about that gal right there. She almost got whacked.
She was texting.
Well, the ball found a good home. That's all we care about. Everybody's fine. Nobody got hurt, and it found a good home.
And the 2-2 pitch to Weeks, and Weeks takes low. Three balls and 2 strikes. And the walk to Weeks.
Frustrating. You get ahead of a guy 1-2, you're thinking, all right, advantage me. And when you lose him to a walk, you're not happy with yourself.
Affelt is throwing again in the bullpen. Six-2 A's here in the 9th inning. At the knees for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Ellefson definitely the best guy in the Giants staff at being able to hit ground balls. Javier Lopez has quit throwing. He's ready.
I believe I said it was Affelt. So it's Lopez. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. At first is Weeks. Good part of this crowd is still trying to get involved in this game. And a strike to make it 1-2. I think a number of the A's fans here were trying to get the let's go A's, and Giants fans wanted to have nothing of that.
Well, they negated it. Let's go Oakland. Let's go Giants. So, yeah, that's how you do it. You just
stomp it out, right?
You counter it.
1-2. And a base hit to right field. Moving over to third easily will be Weeks. So a base hit for Pennington, and here comes Bruce Bochy. So we'll have a pitching change when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back.
Top of the ninth inning, and Bruce Bochy has to go to his left-handed specialist. That would be Javier Lopez. 18th time that he's coming in, 3-0 in the year, 1.04 ERA, great numbers. And he's walking into a strikeout situation here against Josh Reddick. Reddick in his last at bat, a 2-run homer that stretched this out to a 6-2 game, and Bruce Bochy trying to keep that score there going into the bottom of the ninth inning. Let's take a look at that swing of the bat in the seventh inning. Fastball from Shane Lukes, and it went right out El Centro. Home run number 11.
Going. Look out. Like 4 people knocked them off their chairs. This guy all right?
Tom Zorn over there picking up the pieces.
Notice how these camera guys, they block their cameras like it's the President of the United States.
It's amazing. They would take it in the forehead than have it hit their camera.
Reddick waves that one. It's 0-2. Oh no, not the camera. Giants playing a double play depth on the infield. And Reddick out swinging. That's what Lopez can do.
And we have seen him pitch so consistently since putting on a Giants uniform. I mean, he's almost like automatic in these scenarios. You need a strikeout runner at third, less than 2 outs. I mean, he's going to get it for you. Dropping down the high sidearm. And Reddick a victim. And it's a tough challenge when you're facing Lopez for the first time.
0-1 to Smith. Smith with a base hit off of Lincecum in the 4th inning. Overall in the game, he's 1 for 4.
Seth Smith cannot believe he's swinging through that pitch. And it does unnerve you when you think you're keeping that front shoulder in, you think you're on it, you throw a bat head at something, and you come up with not even a foul ball. It does rattle your cage.
Got him. Lopez comes in and strikes out a pair. 4 to tie, 5 to head home. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Wall-to-wall Bay Bridge Series coverage. 30 Giants in 30 days. It'll be about Emmanuel Burris. And Beta Breakers highlights all tonight on Sportsnet Central at 6. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and tune-up. The oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Brian Fuentes, the closer of the A's, coming in. 16th time he's come in for Bob Melvin. He's 3 out of 4 in the save-off. Fuentes in his 10th year at the big league level. 6'4", 230-pounder out of Merced. This is not a save opportunity. Giants have their work cut out for them. Down 4 here.
Bob Melvin giving us a peek at the entire bullpen today. Well, at least the way he sets it up. Here's Burris. Burris takes a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. It's nice to have Brian Wilson here for a couple of innings. Did not expect him to be shy, and he wasn't.
I think we all think at some point this life is going to be behind the microphone. Very interesting perspective from Brian Wilson.
So Fuentes needed to throw a strike, and he did.
Fuentes always an intriguing motion because he sets his arm back a little differently than most guys do.
Hit on the ground. Barton, 1 out.
Kind of slingshots it back. Most guys like to circle their arm back into their throwing motion, and he just kind of cocks it back, Iron Mike-like.
Giants saw a lot of Fuentes when he was closing for the Colorado Rockies. Rockies, what did they do today? Seattle 6, Colorado 4, and that's the final. Strike to Brett Pill. Pill hitting .232. 1 ball and 1 strike. Down low. Giants have a very quick getaway after the ball game from Milwaukee. The curfew, it in Milwaukee's airport. And the curfew was midnight. There's a shot on the ground. Pennington on one hop throws him out. If you cannot get into Milwaukee by midnight, then you have to fly to Chicago and take a bus. That's not good.
No.
That's a 2-hour bus ride. We'll stop on the farm on the way. A couple of cocktails.
Be all right. Yeah.
Here's Blanco. Blanco's looking at an 0 for 5. He's 0 for 4 coming into this at bat.
Did you say a couple cocktails at the farm?
The farm.
Well, I know that your father, Henry Kuiper, has got a bottle of Jim Beam in there that's been there since your brother Glenn was born. I'm not sure how many drinks you're going to get out of that thing.
Here's Blanco as he takes a pitch down low. Yeah, we dug in there one day. We had a barbecue for broadcasters. It was a little syrupy, wasn't it?
It was like maple syrup. You could have put it on your pancakes.
Yeah, clearly Hank not a big Jim Beam guy. 2-0 to Blanco. And a strike. With Crawford to follow, it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Giants led 2-0 after 3. And then the A's with a 4 spot in the 4th inning and a 2 spot in the 7th. Blanco with a base hit. That's the one he was looking for. He's now 1 for 5. And that'll bring up Crawford. Crawford has struck out twice, but he's also walked and singled. Crawford will be going to a ballpark where his first at bat as a big leaguer, he hit a grand slam as Blanco will move down to second. One ball and no strikes. Two and 0.
Well, keep scratching away. Scratch to where you can get that tie and run up there and just see what happens, you know? Make it interesting.
There's a strike. Crawford was taking all the way. Two-one pitch. Crawford takes a strike. It's 2-2.
Get short, protect, die hard.
And Crawford stays alive. Two and two.
Not even close.
Stretch it out, right?
All right, how close was it?
Yeah, that would be a problem if that's a strike. 3-2. And the ball game as Crawford strikes out. So the A's, they capture one win in this 3-game series. They do it today behind Bartolo Colon in a 4-run 4th inning. And they beat the Giants, so the Giants on this homestand, Mike, they go 4-3.
Well, they've won 10 out of their last 15, so they're definitely turning things around. And one thing that was so consistent in this homestand was their ability to work counts, get walks, and create opportunity. And got to give credit to the ace of the day. I mean, they snuffed out those opportunities early, and then they got quiet at the end of the game.
They also caught the ball too. All right, final score here at AT&T Park: the A's 6,